Religion is so restrictive. Religion is so controlling. Religion is so belittling. Religion is condescending. That man thinks that somehow he's achieved some great thing, so he passes on these religious rituals and religious rules to other human beings, and if they will submit to those, then they will have the blessing of God on their life, perhaps. But thank God that the blessing of God is not left up to our holiness, our obedience, our religion. God's promises and blessings are guaranteed in His blood, and He has blessed us with all spiritual blessings in heavenly places. And all His promises are yes. And He became a curse for us, so the blessing of Abraham would come upon each of us simply because we believe on His name. And this brings me total life freedom. Religion reminds me that I haven't done enough. But God's grace reminds me that I don't have to do enough because Jesus did it all. And Romans 8:28 is a gift of God's grace. That because God knows we make mistakes, God knows we fail at times, God knows we're flawed, He has given us this miraculous promise that He will take it all and He will fashion it and He will turn it into something good. Total life freedom. When I believe this verse, I'm free from being offended. Because whatever you did to offend me doesn't have any power over me, since I'm Romans 8:28ing the thing you did. I'm Romans 8:28ing the thing that would have offended me, now it doesn't offend me, because I know Romans 8:28 is working even in whatever somebody did to me or what I did to somebody. I don't feel insulted anymore because whatever you say is only, I'm going to Romans 8:28, your words, your bad words about me. I'm going to Romans 8:28, your good words about me. I'm going to Romans 8:28, my bad words about me. I'm going to Romans 8:28, I'm Romans 8:28ing my life. Anybody get that by now? I'm Romans 8:28 in my life. I am Romans 8:28ing my life. This is not up to, God is not going to cause all things to work together for good because we're so good. He's going to cause all things to work together for good because He's so good. He cannot help Himself but to cause whatever He touches to become good. And anything that touches Him, whenever somebody touched Him, the woman said, if I just touch His garment, I'll be made well. And she touched the hem of His garment and she was instantly healed after 12 years of that illness. And Jesus felt power leave Him to the point where He turned to His disciples. He said, who touched me? And they said, everybody's been, thousands of people have been touching you. And Jesus said, no, I felt somebody truly touch me. I felt power leave my body. And then that woman came along and she said, it was me. And He said, daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace. Because anything that even gets near the hem of His garment gets better. Anything that His garment gets near gets better. Everything Jesus touched, it got good. He touched the dead and they got good and alive. He touched the sick and they got good and healed. He touched the blind and they got good and saw. He touched the deaf and they got good and heard. Everything He gets involved with, anything He accidentally bumps into, turns into something good. This is His nature. Romans 8:28ing my life is simply God's naturing my life. I just believe His nature is good. Lord, you are good and your mercy endures forever. We just sang it. We just remembered a song that makes us realize God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. I never even knew that song said it like that. People say all the time, when you say God is good, someone says all the time. And then you say all the time, and then someone says God is good. And it's in that song because it's true. Man, total life freedom means you'll stop getting bitter. Total life freedom means, how could I say this? This beautiful thing. Let me read this to you in the Message translation, a couple more translations, and then we'll close. But boy, if this doesn't make you happy, I don't know what will, but this will. This will. This is going to do it. That's why we can be so sure, the Message Bible tells us in verse 28, that every detail in our lives of love for God is worked into something good. The Jewish Orthodox translation, everything cooperates towards something good in our lives. Passion Translation, so we are convinced that every detail of our lives is continually woven together to fit into God's perfect plan of bringing good into our lives. For we are His lovers and have been called to fulfill His design purpose. For He knew all about us before we were born, and He destined us from the beginning to share the likeness of His Son. This means the Son is the oldest among a vast family of brothers and sisters who will become just like Him. Wow. Every detail woven together, fit into God's plan, bringing good into our lives. We are His lovers. We're called to fulfill His design purpose. He knew all about us before we were born, that we would share the likeness of His Son, and that we would be a part of a vast family of His brothers and sisters. That's what's happening in your life right now. You're being made into a brother and a sister of Jesus. You are that, but you're learning to experience what it means to be His sibling. You're learning to experience that your oldest brother, your twin brother named Jesus, has secured everything for you, little bro, little sis. He's secured everything for you on the cross. He's done it all. He's the firstborn of many brethren. We're now a part of His family. Not slaves. Not servants. We make ourselves servants for the sake of others. God makes us sons. We make ourselves servants. We cannot make ourselves sons. He makes us His sons and daughters. But we can make ourselves servants to help other people to discover the love and the goodness of God. If you will Romans 8:28 your life beginning today, you will find so much more peace and tranquility, so much more confidence, so much more joy. And people will find you so much more likable, so much more interested and curious about what makes you have this peace that passes understanding. You will be able to share the glorious gospel of our eldest brother Jesus, our twin brother Jesus, the firstborn of many brothers and sisters that are now part of a vast family that get to call God Father. Father.